So guys, what's going on? This time Assassin, and today I am playing some more Fallout 4 for the PS4 with mods. Today I'm going to be creating a bus shelter sort of thing. This is going to be narrated as I go along, because I'm actually building this at the time that I'm actually recording. Well, I'm saying this stuff as I'm building the actual bus. So I originally got this idea from a person on YouTube. I'm not sure if many of you guys have heard of him, because mostly he's a Fallout 4 player, well, builder really. And his name is Petard, and he's a pretty funny guy. I'll leave a link to him down in the description if I can, because for some reason when I try and copy and paste links, they just disappear from my clipboard. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm using the same idea that Petard had for using the half broken bus and extending it. So I was thinking about using the orange box cars with the supporters on it, but it just didn't clip in. So I was thinking, what about the clipping system that Fallout 4 Settlement Mode has? And it actually was working well, because I saw it clip, but then it really fucked me over. So that was annoying, to be honest. And then it worked that way, so I didn't really need to do much messing around. So the support ones weren't clipping in to that support one, so and then I clipped one of the non-supported ones in, and surprisingly it worked a little bit. And then for some reason I decided at this moment in time, I just decided I'm gonna unclip it. Bad choice. But then I noticed, for God's sake, it's clipping into that, not the bus, and I thought it was actually clipping into the bus as well. So that's a big downsider. But anyway, I got it like that. Tried to clip it in. It clipped in a bit better, but it was going out to the side, to the right side now. So I'm going to get it like that, and then put this over here for now, and then kind of rotate it a bit, and then I'm going to attach that to it. Ow. And I just noticed that I actually used the wrong box car, and it still doesn't clip in properly, because I haven't got it to the left enough. So I'm gonna put it to the left a little bit, then I'm gonna try and clip it in again. So I've got a few mods in place. I'm just gonna tell you one of them, which is, as you can see at the bottom, it's called USO Integrated Unlock Settlement Objects, it stands for. And basically it just incorporates everything from the game and you can build it. So it's going around getting the vanilla textures that you can't build in settlement building mode and adding it in, really. It's a pretty good settlement building, but if you want to get more sophisticated, I recommend downloading the settlement supplies expanded mod, because that does more, and this is cool. It doesn't collide with USO Integrated, because it keeps itself in the actual categories. If I go into structures, oops, it's crashed again. It just freezes, not crash. As you can see, SSEX, which is settlement supplies expanded, and it keeps itself in the same bit. And I've also got a junk fence mod, which actually makes it look like it's built like from a raider or a wastelander. My favourite one is this one, the danger keep out one, because of the spikes and the pool table and stuff. But I also like this one. It's got a bed, a bureau case, a goat skull, it looks like, and a couple of sandbags and crates to hold it down, which makes a pretty cool wall. And I like this one as well. They've just wrote keep out on a bit of with a bit of chalk on some wood, and kept it up with a Nuka-Cola thing. And also you've got a couple of things like guard posts, like one of them that sticks out, and something with stairs and a garbage bin, so you can shoot from the top left bit from where you're looking at now. But anyway, let's get back to USO integrated, and pardon me, and I'm going to actually expand this little bit. So I'm going to go back into structures, boxcars and orange, and I'm going to get this little one here, because I mean this big one here, because it just makes it look a bit more, it makes it a bit better. But then I found out that it was just too big to actually fit another one on, and then I noticed this one, which is good, because you can then play around with it. And what I've also noticed is the warehouse walls, not just these plain metal walls, they actually have blue and orange walls. So you can, when I first saw this I was like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I'm boarding it up. So I decided to board it up like that to make it look like it'd actually be built by a scavenger. So it just looks a bit more authentic, really. And I'm gonna have a boxcar door here. I don't know why I clipped it in, because I'm going to go back to warehouse and walls, clip that one in, and we're gonna have a bit of room here for like a window sort of thing. But it doesn't clip, unfortunately. That's a massive bummer. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to get one of these low ones. I'm actually going to get one of these low ones again, and then I'm just going to leave that bit there with a bit of a roof if I can. Nah, I can't. Oh wait, I can actually clip a bit of roof on, so that's good. See if I can find an orange metal one. Oh, hello. But wait, can we do that? So I'm thinking, guys, if we get a four-way, freeway roof, we can actually get one of them. But I'm thinking if we can get one on both sides and then a little bit of a gap. But nah, it's not going to be possible, is it? So I'm going to get a four-way one and then have that bit there. So I'm going to have just a normal roof like that to clip it onto, and now go back into the orange roof bit and have an orange end cap there, and then have an orange end cap there. So I've got the top of the bus patched up. As you can see, if we go here, it's looking patched up, so it's looking pretty better now. But what I need to do is sort out this. Now the warehouse stairs won't let me do that. So if I go into concrete, and I've also got an add-on for the concrete ones, and actually create institute steps. Also, I've made up a law for the for actually how this bus is made. So I'm going to explain it now. If you don't want to hear it, just skip to the time that I'm going to show at the top of the screen now, and that is when the law will be over. So basically, there's a person called Jim who lives in the Commonwealth. Jim is a peaceful trader. Well, he tries to be a peaceful trader, and he would kill to defend himself. He doesn't have a family, which is unfortunate, but he doesn't really, he does care, but it doesn't really affect him that much, because he has a good amount of friends. Well, he did until a couple of them died. One of his major friends was Bob. Bob was a Diamond City resident at the time he was alive, and he was at Takahashi's bar at the time of the synth, of the Institute versus Diamond City war. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read up on Institute versus Diamond City. It's also, if you played Fallout 4 and you don't know about it, if you go around Diamond City, if you're there, well, you probably are if you've been playing it a long time, because I've been playing it since it came 2 months after it came out, because I got it for Christmas 2016. That's when I got my actual PS4 that I'm recording on now. But anyway, yeah, so he was involved in the shootout. He decided to prepare to sacrifice himself for fellow residents of Diamond City, and Jim wasn't there at the time, as he had another friend who, well, he wasn't really a friend because he didn't tell Jim his name, but what he did was he supplied the broken bus and a few spare materials for Jim to use to actually make the home livable. So Jim decided to start creating the bus at the date of the shootout, but he didn't know that the shootout was going on, resulting in his friend's death. And they were deciding whether or not to live together because they were best friends, and they were Bob was Jim was Bob's only friend. That soon came to an end as he was assaulted by a synth, as he decided to side with Diamond City security to help the Diamond City residents get free from the war. And yeah, Bob died, and Jim didn't know about it. Jim's dead now, as he was fighting off some super mutants outside of the bus, and then a gang of feral ghouls came in and just tore him to bits and then started eating him. I know it's a bit bleh, but it's the truth. But anyway, so Bob, when he was building the actual bus, went to his friend that actually supplied the bus and paid him 10,000 caps for more materials. Now, the buyer, not knowing that he wanted the materials beforehand, actually betrayed him, considering the fact that he tried to kill, considering the fact that he actually tried to kill Jim. He wanted the caps really badly, but he didn't have the materials to actually sell him. So Jim's friend died trying to get the caps off him, and basically that resulted in a war between Jim and the supplier. So it caused a bit of disturbance as they were living near Goodneighbor, as the supplier was living near Goodneighbor. Quite a bit of disturbance was caused to the mayor of Goodneighbor, Hancock, as he was woken up in the middle of the night by a couple of shots from a fat man. Now, the fat man was intended to blow up one of the warehouses, but he missed by like 20 centimetres, the report says, because the journalist from Diamond City, Piper, actually was one of the first people on the case of the shootout, of the war between Jim and the supplier in Goodneighbor. Now, so that was the estimated gap between the actual warehouse that he got his things from and the fat man and the mini nuke. So yeah, mini nuke, sorry, I'm just getting confused. So he tried to blow up the factory intentionally. He didn't do it by accident. It was intended that he blew up the factory, the warehouse which he supplied his buyers with. So Jim ended up killing the supplier. No remorse, because he actually needed the supplies to build the actual bus, and he needed a home really badly. Now, so when Jim died, he 2 years later he found out Bob was dead. He called called at Diamond City office to try and persuade Geneva to get the mayor to start a search for Bob. But a Diamond City security officer named Daniel Sullivan came up to him and said, "Yeah, we heard about Bob. He's dead." So Jim was absolutely distraught because they were like really good friends, and he tried to actually get the real answer out of him, thinking there was another answer, and that he was trying to like make an excuse not to search for Bob. But that was the answer. He got shot during by a synth during the shootout. Anyway, so Jim went on a quest to find out if this was true or not. In the end, he did find out that it was true, and he was distraught by the answer, because a lot of people were confirming that they haven't seen Bob and they suspected death. Now, he came across someone called Preston Garvey. Now you might know the name. This is all made up, by the way. This didn't actually happen, so you don't have to worry about spoilers. So he went up to Preston Garvey and said, "Look, I think my friend is dead. Can you help me look for him?" Of course, Preston Garvey is an idiot, and he said no. But he would say yes to help in a settlement. I guess he had bigger things on his plate, but nah, he was an idiot in the first place. So it doesn't really matter that he said no, as Jim found out that Bob was actually dead and no one was lying. So he decided to make a robo brain named Bob Prototype. Now, obviously, he didn't have much knowledge about robot creation. He had knowledge of technology, yes, but not robots. Mostly it was computers, like terminals, and like mostly hacking into terminals for secrets hidden by corporations. And then it was a failed experiment, as I said, because he didn't have much knowledge of robots at the time. Now, he tried to keep on working on it, but because he decided to carry on working on the project, but as he was only human and he wasn't a ghoul, and ghouls are immune to radiation. Ghouls are immune to radiation. He died of radiation poisoning as a radioactive storm came and killed Jim. He lived up to 69 years of age because he had a lifelong supply of Radaway, so to speak. That was not true, as he ran out of Radaway 1 minute before he died, and there was no way he was going to survive going to Diamond City. It was just going to cause more pain because he would get tired out and he'd possibly die painfully if he tired out, as well as radiation poisoning. So he decided to bear the radiation sickness and he died. The radiation didn't spare him. He wasn't turned into a ghoul. He died, literally. So then a funeral was held by one of Bob's clients, because Bob, the client, was actually a good friend of Jim's. So he tried to hold a good funeral for Jim, as they were really, really good friends, but as many things, it didn't work, because another Institute shootout, there was a core set looking for a synth. They attacked the core set not knowing its intentions were peaceful, and it just wanted to find a runaway synth. So everyone died. Everyone died there. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people died at that moment. So a lot of tragedies were caused. Not a lot of casualties were caused by the Corsair, not knowing he was going to get attacked. Now, everyone who survived the shootout at the actual funeral paid their respects to Jim and then went, cause they had things to do. They had things to do, and basically they tried to forget about Jim's death, but it was stuck with them all 2 days later. It was stuck with them all 2 years later, and they thought they were going to forget about it 2 days, and then forgetting about it took 2 weeks. But anyway, he tried, before he died, Jim tried to find Radaway near his location, but someone stole the Radaway, not knowing a storm was coming, and they were the one that caused Jim's death. At least people that knew that he was the thief of the Radaway said so. So, yeah, that's it for the law. Oops. That's it for the law. There's a lot more law to Jim than you think, because there's going to be another video on Jim and his creations, but that is just one of many things he has done in his life, and he has done a lot more things. But yeah, also Jim was a master thief, considering that he stole off Vault-Tec twice, and he stole some vault suits. He stole some vault suits and Pip-Boys from Vault 81, but he eventually got caught and the things were salvaged. Now, a lot of people knew that Jim was a thief, and they actually liked that fact, because the Commonwealth needed a thief to help, needed a thief that would thieve the rich and help the poor. So a lot of people actually looked up to him. Also, just for the banter, Jim had a cat. Meow. But anyway, back to the actual building. So yeah, I put a filing cabinet, a Pip-Boy crate and a vault suit box, along with a dresser, a candle or candles, and a broken terminal just for the authenticity, because he was a worker, and a bench, just so he can sit there. Now, time to work on the exterior of the bus. So yeah, we're gonna work on the back of the bus first to make it look deadly, and then we're gonna work on some guys. I'm just placing down a couple of things before I actually got into the exterior of the bus. But anyway, Jim actually, before he died, this is he found that he found out that Bob had died. Not when he found out Bob had died, he chose to steal the body from the current grave and bring it outside of his bus. So he could remember Bob, because they were really good friends. So he could actually remember Bob. So he put it outside, which was a really foolish idea of him, because he kept on having emotional breakdowns, because they were really, and I mean really, good friends. Yeah, he kept on having emotional breakdowns when he came to and from the bus. Because he kept on seeing the grave and Jim's body. Anyway, so enough of the law. Sorry about that little bit extra, guys. I did say I would give you the end of the law, but I didn't want to stop the building. I didn't want to stop the showing you the building of the exterior. Anyway, for some reason it's not working. Put it back here. That don't work either, does it? There we go. So, let's work on the exterior of the bus. We're gonna do the back now. Oh, great. It's crashed. I mean, froze again. So, I don't know which mod it is, but there are mounted heads. And I did say I was going to do the back first, but I really needed to put these on. Well, near the bus. Before I forget, because I normally forget to do stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna have a couple of spikes all around the bus, to make it look a bit scary. It does say that the mod creator actually suggests a place everywhere and anywhere mod, and place them through sandbags, but to make the defences look deadly. But nah, I like putting them through the buses to make it look like, yeah, this bus isn't one for being rammed, it's one for ramming. If even powered at all. Because Jim mainly intended to use the bus as a home, not as a vehicle. Anyway, so I've just noticed that I still have these clothes racks. So I thought I'd put one down here. No, I put one in here before I go and actually work on the... No, I actually go full on working on the exterior. So, yeah, I tried to find a place to put the clothes rack without actually clogging up the place too much. But I couldn't find anywhere. So I thought, oh, maybe I could put it down there. It did work at one point because I saw it go purple. Purple's a good colour. Don't say I'm gay for it. If you say I'm gay in the comments, I'm not even listening to you. So it'll just be a waste of your flicking time. So yeah, no point. So if you're just wanting to wind me up, I might just comment, okay, I'm gay, aren't I? Yeah, I'm gay. Yeah, I'm totally gay because I have a girlfriend, don't I? So I actually couldn't find anywhere to put the clothes rack. But anyway, I had one of these hat racks to make it look like he was a member of the army, because imagine that, just having a full clothes rack of just army fatigues. Damn, son. So I decided to have a cannon, or a couple of cannons on the side of the bus to make it look deadly. And I had two on the side, no, one pointing at each side, and then two on the back, one aiming directly in front. Because I can't imagine they'd be coming from the front most of the time. They'd come from the side or back to try and get a tactical advantage. So you'd need more support at the back. So then I noticed a construction barrier, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna look cool if I put it on the front with the spikes. And it actually went in there. So, actually went in perfectly there, so that was pretty good. But I was gonna add spikes on the front, but it wasn't working. Well, I'm going to add spikes. For some reason, I keep on thinking I'm narrating it while watching it. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna place spikes on the front, but it's a bit. I hate it when it does that. It's a bit weird. So I think it's the wrong spikes I'm using. Yeah, it's them ones, isn't it? Yeah, that's looking better. I saw that clip then. There we go. Deadly. Deadly. Deadly, deadly. Get it, deadly. Yes, boys. I'm gonna have one at each side, and then if I can clip some into the middle, I will definitely do that. I'm gonna see if I can clip some at the side and clip some from the side. Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 on the front because I just can't be bothered to tamper with it anymore. But I accidentally placed another one, so I may as well just spread it out. There we go. And then there we go. That's looking well better, ain't it? So guys, just one thing. Drop it down in the comments if you think this build is good. I don't know why I've got them there. If you think this build is good, and say if it's good or bad and rate it out of 5, please. Because I'm gonna do these builds more often. Because I normally just do messing around with mods with Workshop, but I'm actually going to dedicate the building in the building time that I do in the building time that the time that I use to build in Fallout 4. Most of the time I'll dedicate it to this YouTube channel. Some of the time, and basically just put it up with a little lore to make it a bit better than it looks. So anyway, oh yeah, nice. Anyway, I've got this mod as well, so I'm gonna have some power arm. I'm gonna have a power arm frame here. It looks pretty cool, to be honest. Looking good, dude. Anyway, so I've got a mod called Cheatinator. I think it's called that. I don't know. But anyway, oh yes, I'm having that. Sorry guys, I'm going a bit off task here. Anyway, oops. Anyway, so I'm just gonna show you this mod. So anyway. Anyway, I'm just gonna place down some things. I'm gonna place down some things, so that's part of the Scriptinator mod. Anyway, so I just want to see what this is, guys. I guess you can only use it once. Anyway, I'm going to show this at the end of the video. But anyway, I'm gonna do a little showcase of the inside now. So I'm gonna wait until it's daytime and then come back. Anyway guys, here is the build. It's a bit lighter as you can see, so here's Bob. RIP! Here's his destroyed grave, unfortunately. So as you can see, I've got spikes on the back of the bus. And I've got cannons on the roof of the bus, just for defence, and I've got a mounted head for intimidation. I'm just gonna give you a close up. Oh god, his eyes are open. Okay, that's a bit graphic. Anyway. So inside, I've got a mattress, a footlooker. I haven't put anything in there yet. A chair, some fatigues, the Vault-Tec stuff, destroy terminal and all that, filing cabinet, Pip-Boy, and this stuff, power armor. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what it looks like with the power armor frame. There. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the build. Oh, and I've also got that there. And yeah. Hope you liked it. Stay safe. See you guys later. Take care and peace. So guys, as I promised, free. No, I'm actually gonna save before that. Because I really don't want to fuck up my game save. Really bad. So I'm gonna save there. And I'm gonna turn auto saving off. Just in case it overwrites. Unfortunately, it will overwrite. Gameplay, save on rest off, save on wait off. I don't know why vibration's on. Save on travel off. Saving Pip-Boy disabled. Yeah, I've got it on very hard. Anyway, so guys, 3, 2, 1. Oh, sick! It worked. Oh crap, it's crashed. And it's crashed on it. I'm literally just spamming like every single button, thinking it might froze. Oh Yates! It worked. Guys, I'm in the relay. As you can probably see, this isn't supposed to happen yet.
Hello.
Jesus Christ, you're early.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance.
Anyway, I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to end the video here. Because I don't want to give any spoilers whatsoever if you haven't played the main story all the way through. Or you haven't got to this bit yet. Or you just decided to destroy the Institute without warning. Anyway, see you guys later, take care and peace.